Okay. So good morning. The agenda for the day is something like this. Attributes in VHDL and okay. Okay. So we are going to discuss basically about two kinds of attributes. First is array attributes, and we are given four examples of array attributes. That is array underscore name tick left, array underscore name tick right, array underscore name tick high, and array underscore name tick low. And we are going to use examples of ascending array and descending array to explain them. And the second category of attributes is the signal attributes, and we have assumed that a certain signal has the name sig underscore name. So we have sig name tick event, sig name tick active, sig name tick last active, sig name tick delayed with the parenthesis of time, and sig name tick stable. So here, so first is array attributes. Okay, so what we will do is that first we'll discuss about two-dimensional single dimensional arrays. Okay, so 2D arrays. So 2D arrays are arrays which have horizontal spread and vertical spread. Okay, so they have a spread like this and they have a spread like this. Okay, so horizontal spread can be called as n and vertical spread can be called as m. So we also know that memories are also defined in this way only. So for example, how are memories specified? Okay, so memory specifications, there can be many specifications of memory. As far as size is concerned, memories are always specified as m by n. Okay, so if we have a memory having specs m by n, so this is called as a horizontal spread of memory, and this is called as the vertical spread of the memory. Okay, and basically it is n bits and it is m words. Okay, so memory is always specified as m words by n bits. In other words, we can have, so that is why we say that the total capacity of memory is like this. So capacity which is expressed in bits is equal to m words multiplied by n bits per word. M into n bits. Okay, very clear that memories are first and foremost specified as m by n, where m is a number of words and n is a number of bits, and n bits represent the horizontal spread of the memory and m words they represent the vertical spread of the memory, and the capacity of the memory, that is how many bits it can store, is always specified as m by n, because capacity in bits is equal to m words into n bits per word. Okay, so the capacity is mn number of bits. Now, because we have said that a horizontal spread is expressed in terms of bits, so okay, 0, 1, 2, so on n minus 1, and then we have a repetition of this structure in the vertical direction. Okay, so this is said to be the first word, second word, third word, similarly mth word. Okay, now we have to learn that in VHDL how we can create this particular structure m by n. Okay, so we can also say like this, that this is word 0, that is the first word, 1, 2, and w m minus 1. Okay, okay, so we know that in VHDL we can create a structure which is having a horizontal spread in this way. So syntax for creating a structure having horizontal spread is nothing but our vector data type. Okay, so it is signal q colon standard underscore logic underscore vector n minus 1 down to 0. Okay, so this particular statement in VHDL will create this structure zero, 1, 2, n minus 1. Okay, now we want to replicate this structure again. Okay, so we want to replicate this structure. So to this particular statement, we add one more keyword called as array. So syntax to create vertical spread with size m. Okay, so now we are going to learn how to create this vertical spread of the structure having the size m. So you are supposed to use this keyword called as array. Okay, array 0 0 to m minus 1. Okay, so this particular syntax is going to create a vertical spread of size m. So we are going to combine this keyword along with our vector data type to create a structure. Okay, now we have to name this structure because this will become a new data type. Okay, so let us say that the name of this particular structure is what we can say. Let mem be the name of the structure. Mem. So I'm going to create a new data type called as mem, which will have the size m by n. Create a two-dimensional structure of size m by n having the name mem. Okay, so we have to write down type mem is array 0 to m minus 1 is standard underscore logic underscore vector n minus 1 down to 0. Okay, so it is type mem is array 0 to m minus 1 is standard underscore logic underscore vector n minus 1 down to 0. So this particular thing is going to create this spread of size m, and this particular thing is going to create this spread. With size n. Okay, to give an example, create memory with create a memory of size 8192 bytes organized as 1k by 8. Okay, so read the statement properly. That create a memory of size 8192 bytes organized as 1k by 8. Now from student side, I want somebody to answer that what will be the syntax based on this thing to create a memory of size 8192 bytes organized as 1k by 8. Yeah, be fast. Syntax for creating a memory which can store 8192 bytes and organize as 1k by 8. Yes.
Sir.
Sir, 0 to 1.
Danish, answer. Danish is expected to answer. So Danish, in front of you, there is a syntax given for
Yes,
creating
sir.
an M by N structure, and we have to create a memory organized 1k by 8. Okay, you tell me and I will write. Tell me. Yes.
Sir,
Yeah.
I'm not sure, sir. I don't know.
Then try, na. If you are not sure, you are allowed to give wrong answers. No issues. See, syntax is in front of you. Type mem is array 0 to m minus 1 is standard logic vector n minus 1 down to 0. And using this particular syntax as a reference, you are supposed to create a memory organized as 1k by 8. Okay.
Okay, so
So m
array,
is 1k and n is 8. Tell me now.
so array 0 to
No, you tell
999.
me the whole thing. Right from type, you tell me. Right from type.
Okay, type
Okay.
mem.
Okay, so what we will do, we will give it a name. We will give it a name, mem 8k. Okay, is. Now tell me, is array
0 to 999. Oh,
wrong?
sorry, 8191.
No, wrong. This is m and this is
Okay,
n. See how m is written.
so
So tell me, yeah. So it will be
999, no, sir. 0
no,
to
not you. You do not know what is 1k in digital, huh? 1k
okay,
in digital. Yeah, what is 1k in digital?
uh,
1k is 2 raised to 10.
to yeah. So
How
that will
much is
be
2 raised to 10?
it is
1024.
1024.
Yeah, now tell me. Yeah, so it is type map
So
8k is array 0 to
1023
very good of standard logic
underscore logic vector
underscore vector. Now
uh, 127 to down to 0.
how much?
120, no, sorry, 255 down to 0.
How 255? You are
Because
not
it's
reading
8.
properly, Danish. See, for m by n array, it is written n minus 1 down to 0. Already 1k by 8, I have specified that m is 1k and n is 8. So can't you just convert
Okay.
n into n minus 1 down to 0?
Huh.
Yeah, so. Hmm. Yes. It is so simple. It is mere substitution. It is mere substitution, Danish.
Yes.
N is supposed to be written as n minus 1 down to 0. N is already given as 8. So what should I write here?
7
Yeah. 7
down
down
to
to 0. Yeah.
Sir, is it off in the syntax?
Yeah, off is there in syntax. Correct. This is syntax. Huh. Yeah, correct. So there are some corrections here. Off. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Yash. It's off actually. Okay. It's very simple. Similarly, if I want to create a structure 128 bits and the organization is 8 by 16. Okay, so 80 plus 48, 128, right? So it will be type mem 128b is array 0 to 7 of standard underscore logic underscore vector 15 down to 0. I hope that this is clear. Okay, so 128 bits, 8 by 6. This is that 8 and this is that 16. Okay, similarly this is my 1024. This is my 8. Okay, so this is how 2D arrays are created. Okay, now what we will do, we will study attributes. Okay, so array attributes. Consider a one-dimensional array having horizontal size 16. Okay, so consider a 1D array having size or having horizontal size 16. So we can have two possibilities. We can have an ascending array or a descending array. So this ascending array, as we told, that we can create this signal q colon standard underscore logic underscore vector 0 to 15 semicolon, and here I have to define as descending array as signal q standard underscore logic underscore vector 15 down to 0. Okay, now we will define the attributes as this. As we told that the syntax is array name tick attribute name. Okay, so our array name is q, so it will be q tick attribute name. Okay, so the different attributes are q tick right, q tick left, q tick high, and q tick low. Okay, and we are going to write down what will be the return value for ascending arrays and descending arrays. So if these particular attributes are applied to descending array, what are the values returned? And if we are applying these attributes to ascending array, what will be returned? Okay, so q tick right. So if q is an ascending array defined as 0 to 15, so when I use this attribute q tick right, the value which will be returned will be 15. Okay, so 15 is returned if I apply q tick right to ascending array. At the same time, if I apply q tick right to descending array, the value returned is 0. Okay, q tick left, what will be returned if I execute q tick left on an ascending array 0 to 15? Yes,
0.
0. If I execute q tick left for a descending array 15 down to 0, what is returned?
15.
15. Q tick high means the highest value in the array, the highest, what you say, prefix in the array, what to say, Okay. So Q tick high will be what? For ascending, 15. Q tick high will be again 15 here. Q tick low will be 0, it will be 0. Okay. Very simple. So we can conclude that q tick right is equal to q tick high for ascending array. Okay. And q tick left is equal to q tick high for descending array. Okay. So we see here that these two values are equal and here these two values are equal. So for ascending array, I can write down that q tick right is equal to q tick high, and here q tick left is equal to q tick high. Okay, very simple. These are the examples of array attributes for ascending and descending. Now signal attributes are very interesting. So there are 5 of them, as we told: event, active, last active, delayed, and stable. Okay, so we have to write down what is return. Okay, so signal name tick event, it returns a true if value of the sig name changes. Okay, so if there is any change in the value of the signal sig underscore name, this particular attribute will return a true value. Okay, similarly, signal name tick active will also return a true value if the signal is active. Okay, so true if the signal is active. Okay, this particular attributes sig name last active. Okay, it returns time in nanoseconds elapsed after signal was active. Okay, so sig name tick last active returns the time in nanoseconds elapsed after signal name was active. Okay, now it is no longer active. This particular attribute, sig name tick delayed. Okay, ns. So assigns the signal's value after a delay of dash nanoseconds. Okay. Okay. So sig name tick delayed nanosecond means if suppose I write down sig name tick delayed 5 nanoseconds, and if I assign this attribute to another signal C, then this particular signal will be assigned to that particular signal after a delay of 5 nanoseconds. Okay. So I can write down the value here, no problem. 5 nanoseconds, 5 nanoseconds. Okay. Okay. And this particular attribute it also returns a true. Okay, so here also there is an attribute. Say for example, we have 10 nanoseconds. So then it returns true if the signal sig underscore name has remained stable for at least 10 nanoseconds. Okay, so sig name tick event means this particular attribute returns a true value if the value of changes, sorry, so it returns a true if value of signal name changes. Sig name tick active returns true if signal has remained active. Sig name tick last underscore active returns the time in nanoseconds elapsed after the signal was active. Sig name tick delayed, say 5 nanoseconds, it assigns the signal's value after a delay of 5 nanoseconds. And sig name tick stable 10 nanoseconds returns true if the signal has remained stable for at least 10 nanoseconds. Okay, so now we will take one example of all these 5 attributes. So now we will define a signal, say clock. We will say signal clock colon standard underscore logic. So this is the first signal. Another signal which we define is a signal Z. Again, it is, say for example, standard underscore logic. Okay, so we have defined two signals CL, K and Z of the data type standard underscore logic, and we are going to discuss how they will be the attributes event, active, then last underscore active, delayed x nanoseconds, and tick stable y nanoseconds. Okay, so we have to learn how to use these attributes. Okay, so if clock tick event and clock equal to 1, then qtemp is assigned d in. Okay, so this is how you use this particular attribute tick event. So if clock tick event and clock equal to 1, which actually is nothing but indication of rising edge, then assign the input d into qtemp. This we already used while writing the VHDL model for a D flip-flop. Okay, now another example would be that assign y to a if z tick active. Okay, so when you write this particular statement, what happens is that the signal A is assigned to the output Y only if the signal Z is active. Okay, if Z tick active, because this particular Z tick active, it will actually returns a true value if Z is active. Last active. Okay, so example of last active would be, okay, so we will say signal P colon time semicolon, and we will say P is assigned Z tick last underscore active. Okay, please see this very carefully, semicolon. Okay, so I have defined one more signal P which is having the data type called time, and I am telling that P should be assigned Z tick last active. So for example, if Z was active last before 15 nanoseconds, okay, say Z was active before 15 nanoseconds, then after execution of this statement, 15 nanoseconds value will be assigned to signal P. Okay, now delayed. Delayed. So example of delayed is, okay, so I define signal A comma C colon standard underscore logic, and this is what I will define in the entity declaration. In the entity declaration, I'll define this thing, and in the architecture body, if I write a statement like this, that C is assigned a tick delayed 5 nanoseconds. So how is this going to be executed? It's very simple. Let us assume a waveform for A. So the time scale is in nanoseconds. This is my signal A. Okay, and if my signal A goes like this, 0, 10, 17, 25. So then my signal C will be a delayed version of A with a bias of 5 nanoseconds. Okay, so okay, so we see here that there is a delay of 5 nanoseconds between A and C. Okay, stable y nanosecond. So what is the definition of stable now? Yeah. So now stable y nanoseconds. Okay. With that, we take the same example as here. Signal A comma C is there, and so I can also define one more signal here. So I made a mistake here. C has to be defined as an output. Signal C colon out standard underscore logic. So now this will be in the architecture body. So I will say y is assigned B tick stable 55 nanoseconds semicolon. Okay. So if signal B has remained stable, stable means no change for the last 55 nanoseconds, value of signal B will be assigned to output signal Y. Okay, so if signal B has remained stable for the last 55 nanoseconds, only then the value of signal B will be assigned to signal Y. Okay. So this was all about the different attributes. Okay. So all the array attributes and signal attributes have been discussed, and this is more than sufficient to understand. Okay. Yeah, one more attribute which I forgot about in this thing, array attributes, is length. Yeah. Length. Here. So if I define a signal, say signal length colon integer, okay, and then I write down length is assigned q tick length. Now I cannot use the signal name as length because length is a predefined keyword in the language. So I have to change that, and maybe I can say q dimension, q dim. So then q dim is assigned q tick length. In that case, when it executes, so q tick length, the length of q is actually 16. So after execution of this particular statement, q dim will become equal to 16.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, active means high, no? Signal active means
anything,
high.
anything. If it is still existing at any value, whether it is equal to 0, it is constant at 1, constant at 0, or whether it is transitioning from 1 to 0 or 0 to 1. Getting me, na? It is alive. That is mean active. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So today we do not have time for discussing weight statements. We will take it next time. Hope things are clear now. Any questions till now? Okay. So we discussed basically array attributes and signal attribute, that is different attributes available for arrays and different attributes available for signals. And we discuss about 5 attributes: tick left, tick right, tick high, tick low, and tick length. And for signals, we discussed about tick event, tick active, tick last active, tick delayed, and tick stable. And then we discussed about how to create two-dimensional arrays, that is arrays having horizontal spread n and vertical spread m. And we took an example of how memories are specified as m by n, where m is a number of words or the vertical spread of memory, and n is the horizontal spread of memory, also known as bits per word. And the capacity of memory is always a product of m and n, and the unit is bits. And this is how a memory is organized. There are m words, that is first to mth word, or in case of subscripts, 0th word to m minus 1th word, and n bits are nothing but the word size. So the syntax which we discussed was type the structure name, that is the name of the 2D structure. Type the name of 2D structure is array 0 to m minus 1 of standard logic vector n minus 1 down to 0. So whatever is our specification for 2D memory or 2D structure in terms of m and n, m is always written as m minus 1 and n is written as n minus 1. So we told that standard underscore logic underscore vector, this data type, creates a horizontal spread, while the keyword array creates a vertical spread, and a combination of both of them creates a two-dimensional structure m by n. And we gave examples of 8192 bit organizes 1k by 8, and also 128 bit memory organizes 8 by 16. And then we discussed the array attributes for both ascending and descending array. Ascending array is the one in which the spread or the size is specified as lower numeral to higher numeral, and descending is always defined as higher numeral down to lower numeral. And then give for this array having size 16, we have discussed all the attributes, and we added one attribute called as length. And then we discussed by taking individual examples for all the events, all the attributes of signals, that is event, last active, delayed, stable. These 4 were there. Okay, fine.